Greetings. The rainy afternoon. It was a cold Friday afternoon. Classes had ended. Students rushed out of school, excited for the weekend. Bus number 17 waited outside the gate. 32 students climbed aboard. None of them knew it would be the strangest ride of their lives. The new driver. Their usual driver was absent. Instead, a new driver sat behind the wheel. No one recognized him. He barely spoke, just nodded and started the engine. The wrong turn. 20 minutes into the journey, the bus took an unfamiliar road. A student named Ryan noticed first. "Sir, this isn't the normal route." The driver didn't answer. No signal. Several students pulled out their phones. No signal. Not one bar. It was as if the outside world had vanished. The forest road. The bus entered a thick forest. The trees seemed endless. Rain tapped against the windows. Nobody recognized the place. The sign. A rusty road sign appeared. It read, "Welcome to Ashwood." The strange thing was, no one had ever heard of Ashwood. The empty town. The forest suddenly ended. Ahead stood a small town. Shops. Houses. Streetlights. Everything looked normal. Except there were no people. The clock tower. In the center of town stood a large clock tower. Its hands were frozen at 3:17, the exact time the bus entered Ashwood. The passenger. As the bus passed an old house, one student screamed. A figure stood in the upstairs window, watching them. The driver speaks. For the first time, the driver spoke. His voice was calm. "Do not leave the bus." That was all he said. The breakdown. The engine suddenly died. The bus stopped. The doors opened by themselves. Outside, the town was completely silent. The footsteps. Then they heard it. Footsteps. Slow. Heavy. Coming from somewhere nearby. The missing student. A head count revealed something terrifying. One student was gone. Nobody remembered seeing him leave. The photograph. A girl found an old photograph inside the bus. It showed a class from 1985. Behind them was the same bus. The same number. Bus number 17. The secret. Written on the back of the photo were the words, "They never came home." The students stared at each other in fear. The town's history. Inside an abandoned library, they discovered old newspapers. 40 years earlier, a school bus had disappeared without a trace. The bus number? The truth. The students realized something horrifying. They weren't the first group trapped here. Others had come before them, and never escaped. The bell. Suddenly, the clock tower bell rang. Once, twice, 3 times. The frozen clock began moving again. The exit. The driver appeared beside the bus. "Get on. Now." The students didn't ask questions. They ran. Home. Or not. The bus sped through the forest. Moments later, it emerged onto a familiar road. Everything looked normal again. Parents waited outside their homes. Police searched nearby streets. Everyone claimed the children had been missing. For 3 days. But for the students, only 2 hours had passed. And years later, some of them still swear they see bus number 17 driving through foggy roads at night, even though it officially doesn't exist.